I come from kind of a old school background,
I am that person who's old school.
so I always make the girl pay the first date.
Like my money is our money, but your money is your money.
So how does it work in the relationship?
Well, I think the man is the prize. The woman should pay all the bills.
As Kat's saying all the time, we have only one life.
We work and then we live. But in other sides of the world, they live and then they work.
Hi guys, my name is Kateryna.
And my name is Daria.
And today we have a very special guest. His name is Graham. Hi Graham.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm Graham. I'm the owner of Toronto Podcasts, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys today.
Okay, we have a topic. I don't want to set the theme yet, but I want to go straight into my question. So Graham, can you please tell us who has to pay on a first date?
I come from kind of a old school background, so I always make the girl pay the first date.
So old.
I'm just kidding. I actually, like, it's a bad habit, but I would just pay naturally, like, without even thinking about it. Just because, I don't know, I'm just used to that. But I see people nowadays, they argue over, like, who's going to split the bill and stuff like that. I just think it's kind of dramatic. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think there are people, like girls, not people, but girls who would, overuse like this treatment by guys, and they would, I've heard like some people are saying that, it's like a meal kind of thing, like girls, they just,
girls.
Yeah. They just care like to go to out at the restaurant and that's it. Like, do you think it's actually happening? Like, have you met like anyone who would, just go outside to eat and that's it? And just
Absolutely. Like some people nowadays, things are getting more expensive. In their mind, they're just like, I could save money by just going out on a date every night and then taking some home and then eating that too. So now you get two meals. Yeah.
No way. Oh
So
my
smart
God.
though.
It's not a bad plan. I mean, if I could do that, I would do that.
That's called financial planning.
That's financial planning. Yeah.
But I mean, that's crazy. I think I haven't been on a date for a while, so I'm kind of...
We're both out of the dating game. Well, what I would say, to me, that like paying for, like when the guy pays for me, it's kind of a game. So like whenever I used to have a first date, I would see if I like the guy. And if I like the guy, I would let him pay for both of us. Mm-hmm. But if I didn't like the guy and I wanted to set the boundaries that I did not like you, I would pay for myself. So like we're not a couple, we are friends. Like I don't want to have anything more like romantic with you.
Yeah.
I used to offer every single time to pay like my share, like just because I'm...
Did you split 50-50 or did you just
No,
pay for
I'm
yours?
like, I had this a regular question that I would ask, like something like, not do you want me to help, but if I should pay like for myself or not. Because I remember that I just want to be nice and like, I don't want, I wanted to show that I don't have this expectation from a guy to pay for me, like that it's kind of that I'm self-sufficient kind of, like I can pay for myself, but I mean, it's nice if you're doing this for me right now. So, but again, I don't think I ever paid because the guys usually would take care of the bill.
But Graham, do you think that sounds diminishing when the girl's like, would you like me to help you with the bill?
Yeah, not help you. I remember there was like some phrase that I got from somewhere, but
I
it
don't
was
think
like,
you can afford to pay for the whole bill.
you look like you cannot afford.
Yeah, so I can help you paying part of it.
It's like I was looking at your shoes and I noticed they're kind of dirty. So like I'm just going to pay. But it's funny, like I think, I'm not going to speak for all men, but I think naturally if a woman was to say, oh, I'm going to take care of my half, we would get that feeling of like, oh, maybe, she doesn't really like me much. So even though you're being super nice, I think the guy might take that as like, oh, she doesn't even like me,
Oh,
Like, yeah.
really?
But it's still nice. Like, I think it just depends on the vibe, like in general, right? But if she was to be like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to pay for my half, then in my head, I'm like, oh, shit. Like,
Yeah, that's it.
maybe
Like
I
you
said
said.
something stupid.
I think like how the budget should be between the couple, like if you're already dating and then you already past that stage where you have to make an impression and you are now in a relationship. So how does it work in the relationship?
Well, I think the man is the prize, So I think if anything, the woman should pay all the bills.
100%.
And I think the man should probably just like enjoy his day, Just go out, have like a coffee, sit in the sun.
Inspire women to work more.
He should definitely text her asking her like if she's working hard, just like make sure. But actually, I think it really dependent on the couple, right? Like for instance, if one of the like if say the man and the woman like one makes 100,000 and one makes 50,000, then maybe the one who makes a bit more money can help a little bit more with the finances, right? Like
Yeah.
for instance, me and my relationship right now, I'm paying a little bit more just because I'm making a bit more, so it's helpful. But I know if at any moment if I like messed up, I don't have money or something, then she can help out. But it's like
Yeah.
one of those things that naturally, like, however the money is kind of balanced, then the person who makes a bit more would want to like help out the other person as well.
Who has the opportunity to invest money in the relationship, that's the one who should be doing it, right?
Yeah.
As of this moment.
Within reason too, right?
Yeah.
Like not 100% maybe,
Yeah.
like maybe there's some help, but as long as it's kind of like balanced in a nice, healthy way, then I think it's like, it could be a healthy relationship still.
So to me, it's important for the guy, like not for the guy, I'm sorry, for a man to cover the most expenses. And like, you know how my husband said it, oh yes, of course, like my money is our money, but your money is your money. I'm like, and this is the concept we like how we manage our budget. But I do agree with you that there are different situations in life. So like someone could lose a job and it's not, I'm good, you know, like in this situation, I'm going to be like, oh no, you're a man, you have to earn money. Like I'll do nothing. Of course, like in this kind of situations, we both know that we have this kind of like relationship model that we prefer and that we are like trying to achieve. So keeping that in mind, of course, I will like be like supportive of our family while he's looking for a different opportunity to earn more money.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
I think a lot of Eastern European girls, they have expectations like very high. I think I'm for sure you saw those reels where a guy would ask different girls on the street like how much your man should earn, like so you will be with him, and they just say like crazy numbers, you know, like billions, millions dollars money, and everyone is like, do you make anything even yourself? So I think it's also about the mentality of the culture. Like Ukrainian girls, for instance, they have that expectation that like my money is my money, your money is family money. So, but I think when I moved here, I kind of like right now in a relationship, we're like 50-50, but it's not like we split it exactly. It's just he's covering something and I cover something. And I don't think it's by choice, to be honest. It's just happened like that because at some point we were not making enough. Like no one was making more than the other.
Exactly.
So we were like kind of on the same level. And then right now we're growing, like both of us, but we're still covering like whatever share like you have to cover. And I'm not saying like it's bad or good. Like it works for me right now, so I guess that's all right. But it's just funny how those girls, they have those crazy expectations. Like I'm a prize, like you said, I'm a prize. I'm gonna sit at home, and like the guy has to earn like millions, billions, and like just pay for my stuff, and that's it. I think it's interesting that I haven't met the girl, like Canadian girls, who would have these expectations. They have to provide for themselves first, and then they would go into a relationship.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how the culture is actually different.
I think it also depends on the economy as well, right? Like naturally, like you could see in the olden days, it was much easier for even just one, like either the man or the woman to just make
True.
money and take care of the whole family. But now since times are a little bit harder, you know, rent's like 2,000 plus for a one bedroom. It's like, it's so
Yeah.
much harder to afford everything. So I think naturally like couples are coming together to, you know, help each other to like bridge
Exactly.
that gap financially to make things work so they can eat comfortably, move comfortably, travel, you know, all those things. Yeah.
Have a comfortable life. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. They're just helping each other out really.
So aside from the economy, would you think that like if both you and your like partner would make as much money that you can cover everything that you like your basic needs and like your comfortable life,
Yeah.
would you have the split as well, like both of you contributing to the budget, or one person would take over?
If one of them made enough
Both
to
of
cover
you,
everything.
both of you made enough.
Okay. I think like it depends on as well as what we're what we're doing for our jobs, right? So it's
Right.
like if say I'm working a job and I really enjoy it, but she's working a job and she really hates it, or the other way around. It's like in that case, I would try to help her like get a little bit away from that job, or like
Right.
maybe switch her life to a place where she enjoys it more. Because as you know, like these work jobs, they can be super stressful and it can take away from your relationship as well.
Yes.
Right. So it's like if we're both hating our lives, we're both hating our jobs, maybe we both work a little bit less and we still cover things together, but now we're happier. Or
Yeah.
if she hates her job and I like my job, then maybe she should try to find a new career, even if it means like 3 months of not making
Yeah.
money or 6 months or whatever. And then I just like pick up that little bit of like slack or whatever. And then she can find something she enjoys. Like for instance, I think it's important for people to just be happy with what they do.
Yeah.
And if they're not happy, then like they should switch it up. So if there's anything they can do to just make sure each other are still happy, still content, I think they should definitely do that.
I totally agree with you. It's just like we're like the topic that we're trying to kind of cover today is like finance in a relationship.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's so much like what you were saying. It's so much more important to focus on the relationship
Yes.
rather than finances, because you're like, as all of the examples that you are providing is like we have to see the situation that is like as of today. What is going on? Okay, if we have enough money, okay, let's move on. Okay, are we happy with how we are making money, right?
Exactly.
And I feel like it's very important to keep in mind whenever we're making these decisions, as Kat's saying all the time, we have only one life.
Yes. I
So
agree.
we have to be happy with what we are doing, and if we have the luxury to afford to have to have this choice of the career that we are like gonna make right now, that's very cool. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I do agree. I mean, life comes first, right? It's like I think what I've noticed when traveling the world is that like over here in like the Western world, we work and then we live. But in other sides of the world, they live and then they work. And that made me realize, because I used to put my work first, right? It was like work
Yeah.
all the time. And then maybe I'd have a little bit of time to have fun or enjoy my life. But now I try to do the enjoyment of life first and then work second, just to like
100%.
everything's covered. Like we still have our food and everything, but I still have to have time to be happy first, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like we all forget that, trying to pay bills and everything, you know?
Exactly. Yeah,
Not
that's
having
very true.
lunch.
Yeah, not having lunch. I have another question, guys. What do you think of a prenup?
I think every man should get a prenup.
Prenup, is it like a agreement before marriage?
Yeah, like a marriage contract or something. Like before you get married.
I'll tell you guys something that I think is better than a prenup. So what you do is you get married, right, with no prenup, but then you take your significant other. This is for the rich side of it. Like if it's the man or the woman, whoever's richer, you take your significant other to the Dominican Republic and then you divorce without them knowing. So then when you finally do like whatever happens, you do split up, you're actually already divorced. And then you keep all your money. It's good. Don't worry. You're good.
That's like a scheme, you know?
I heard a story about someone doing that recently. I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy.
Wait, but how do you file taxes here then? Like you have to say that you're married, but you're legally not married.
Well, who would know?
Okay, sorry, I'm that kind of person. Like,
See,
okay.
those are the little things that I don't even know yet, right? Like
But-
you'd have to figure that out as you go.
But imagine you are married to a rich man, like, and he's taking care, I would assume, of everything, like filing taxes and
Exactly.
everything. You are just, just enjoying your life. And then apparently he divorced you like years ago.
Yes.
And like,
That's the story
Who
I heard.
knew?
It was like a 90-year-old guy who was a billionaire, right? And he dated like this younger woman. She was in her 30s. And then they got married. And then as he was like passing away, she realized that he had divorced her like 5 years earlier when they went to the Dominican Republic, because apparently Dominican Republic, you can divorce one side with only
Yeah.
one side knowing. Yeah. So he did that. And
Life
then-
hack.
Yeah. The joke was that like, what an asshole, you know, like he just did this to her.
I do not mind prenups,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it only makes sense if someone has something, right? Or what do you imply by prenup? Like if we both have nothing,
no, of
and
course
that we
if
grow
you-
like finances together, we in the prenup we write down like, oh, you get the car, I'll have the kids, and you'll have the house. Or what do you mean?
Well, yeah, either if you have something already and you're entering into this marriage life, or let's say you're already married and then you bought a house and then you invested in something else, and you come to a point in your life where like, okay, so what's going to happen if we break up? Like, I mean, it's just it's just a conversation. No one is saying that the marriage is breaking, because if it's already happening, like then
No one cares.
yeah, there is no prenup. That's it. It's a separation agreement now. But if you are like already, you have some stuff, and like, I don't know, would you do this in the middle of the marriage or before the marriage? Like personally, I cannot imagine if you're already married to someone and you come up to the person with whom you've been for 10 years and you're like, hey, so we have like 2 houses right now. So how you want to split this if something happens? Like, I don't know.
It could hurt someone's feelings. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
like if someone asked me this, I would freak out. I was like, oh my God, that's a divorce right here.
Like, why are you thinking of this? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if it's before, then I don't know, it might make sense.
Could it also, like in what you're saying, could it also ruin the relationship? Because we're like, we're getting ready for a wedding and everything is so nice. We are like, we got engaged, and now you're okay. So let's write a prenup agreement. So in case we split up, like, would you say that could hurt your relationship as well?
No, I think if it's before, then no. Yeah, I would be fine with that. I used to work in corporate law like for 7 years. And the first thing when people like open the business and they sign shareholder agreement is an
Yes.
exit plan. So they have to know what's going to happen once someone dies, someone gets sick, someone decides to I don't know, to leave the country or whatever. So they have to know like in advance like what's going to happen. And I think in a relationship, like I would want to know like what's going to happen if we decide to break up, like, and especially if we have something. Right now we don't have anything, so
But it's also what you're saying, like when it's a corporation and it's your business partner, you're still like, emotionally wise, you're still a lot more distant from that, like from your business partner than you're from your loved,
well, maybe not. Imagine like you're with your partner, you've been for 10 years and now you're making big money. And now you have to have this conversation. And you've been for 10 years with this partner. I mean, you already
you
attached
mean the business
to,
partner.
Yeah, but
No.
you already attached to this partner. It's still like a tricky conversation to have this whether like would you sign or not.
Oh, yes, I agree with that. But at the same time, I feel like you're not as emotionally involved into your friend or like your business partner.
Yeah. Okay. But let's say you have nothing, your future husband.
Yeah, so for example, if you do not have anything as of now, I do not care. Of course, let's like.
But he has
let's
something.
sign-
Let's say
let's
he
sign
has
prenup.
something and he's offering you to sign a prenup. He has something to lose and you don't. And he's saying, okay, let's sign it. Would you sign it? Would you be offended by the
Would
question?
probably I wouldn't be offended, but it's also because in my head, like, and how I see like relationship for me between men and women, for me it's natural for men to have more and for them to lose more. So to me, it's natural that he's trying to protect what he already has earned, but it doesn't mean that he will not give it everything to me. He will.
Graham, would you sign a prenup?
I would definitely write a prenup. No, I would consider it if it made sense. Like I don't want to like. I'm also very independent, so I don't want to rely on someone else to make me rich. So it's like if they've worked their entire life to earn millions, billions of dollars, then who am I to really deserve it? I would want some sort of exit plan if it's like I'm gonna dedicate my life to you, like potentially put something aside for me.
Yeah.
But if there's a prenup agreement, I think, like you said, it has to happen first. It can't happen 5 years into a relationship because that's like scary. Like, why are we even thinking of this now? You
Yeah.
know? But I also think that like a marriage is kind of like a business agreement. It's like a contract. I want to ask you guys as well. What do you think of a marriage without the agreement, without paperwork? If you just like have a ring and it's like we're together, do you think that's still like a sanctity, like it's still a marriage, or do you think you need that agreement?
I had this conversation hundreds of times with a lot of my friends. To me, like just to me personally, it's very important
Okay.
to be married. If other of my friends are not married, you guys are happy, you do you. I don't think your relationship is less valid. I don't think that your relationship is like not as happier as mine. But to me and to my husband, it's important that we are married to have like paper signed.
Yes.
Our paper is pink that we have. What about you?
For me, it's not important. I'm not legally married, so I'm in a common law relationship,
Yeah.
and I have a baby. So I don't know. I think that works for me. So it was important for me to get a ring, like to get the commitment. And I was like at some point when we were dating, and I was like, if I don't get a ring by, let's say, I don't know, like this year or something, then I would break up because this is important for me. And like, I want this commitment. But paper, it doesn't like it. I don't know. It's not important for me personally. And for him as well, like he doesn't care. And I think for him, it's even scary. He's like freaking out about this whole thing. He's like, oh my God, marriage. It's like a prison or something. I'm like, it doesn't matter, but okay. So here it's not important. And that's why I agreed to continue this relationship and have a baby with him and being in common law. And for him, like it freaks him out. So that works for him as well, like legally married. And someone wants to divorce you, it will not stop you. If the relationship is breaking, like the license, I don't think it's gonna hold on to anything. I mean, some people say that, it takes, some time to file it, to go through this, and like there are some certain stages. That's like how you need to get divorced, and it kind of can stop your, like the breakdown of the marriage. But I think if it's already cracking,
Just gonna slow it down.
It's going to happen regardless of the paper or not, right?
yeah, I think.
So what about you? Do you care about the ring only?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like it's more of an agreement between us. I think when we start like signing the papers, it's more of us just letting the government know. It's like, now we have to like tell the government our business. It's like really it's an agreement between us. And at the end of the day, like you said, with the promise ring, it's kind of a symbol of like, okay, here's like my gift to you, like as like I'm giving you my life, and like you're giving me yours and we're becoming one. But like once we involve the paper and we're telling the government our business and all that stuff, it's like now there's like lawyers involved and all these other like things that can happen. So I think at the end of the day, it's just between the two people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I actually did have one last thing that I wanted to add. So I grew up in like a very old school family, like my parents came from Scotland, and my Nana and Papa, like how they managed their money was kind of out of the ordinary. It's very old school, okay? So my Papa, both of them would work, but as my Nana stopped working, my Papa would give all of his money to my Nana every week. All his paychecks would just go straight to her. And then she would give him just enough to get lottery tickets and beer. So then he would have, like, he'd be happy. He has lottery tickets, his beer. Yeah. All he really cared about was his family. Like, he doesn't really need money, right? And then she would manage all the finances. So she would, like, do some investing, She was really good at saving. Like, Scottish people, they say, are cheap, So she would, like, do things to, like, make sure the money was stretched. I just wondered, like, do you think that could work in today's generation?
I feel like anything can work in any kind of relationship. So, like, I mean, like, if you guys, like, if this is, like, this man and woman, like, or just like two partners in general, if they are happy with this kind of like scheme, oh no, scheme is a bad word. If they are happy in this kind of plan, go for it. And I'm pretty sure there are couples like this today as well. And I feel like I can't even like, name a few in my surroundings that I think that this kind of like plan would work for them.
I think it's sort of like my family, like my mom and dad, because my mom, she works, but she makes only like, I don't know, it's just to cover like her expenses. And then when my dad used to work, he would give like all his money like to her, and then she would take care of the bills, and she would like put it like for vacation. This is for the daughter. This is this, that. So yeah, and it worked for them perfectly. But I don't think it would work for me because I'm not a good, like I would spend like everything. No, I mean, I'm not
shopping.
Well, no, I wouldn't spend like everything, so that I can just do like 1 month's planning and that's it. But talking like years wise or something like that, I'm not good at that. So
I heard because this may work only because when he was giving all his money to, say, for instance, my Nana, now she knows how much money we have. So in her head, she doesn't like want extra things. It's not like she's gonna be like, oh, go buy me like a Chanel purse now. It's like she knows how much money we have.
Right.
She knows
Yeah.
if we can afford the Chanel purse. So
Yeah.
she's not gonna necessarily ask for too much, as well as she understands, okay, if we're budgeting within this amount, like she knows maybe she'll get a Coach purse or something.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll spend like a little bit less because she understands the finances.
Exactly.
You know, and I think opening it up like that and letting everyone see like how much we actually have to work with, maybe
Yeah.
it could help like just decide,
Transparency,
okay,
yes.
what we can do. Like maybe we won't go across all of Europe in our trip. Maybe we'll just go to Mexico for a week. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
know what we can do budget wise. So that's
Yeah.
one thing I thought was interesting.
I think it also goes back to what you mentioned before. It's just like it's finance in a relationship. So the relationship is the most important. And
Yes.
I totally agree. As we have to be transparent with our feelings, with our loved ones, we have to be transparent with like how we manage our finances, because it does really, like in this kind of like day and age, it does define how we gonna like build a relationship as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Graham. It was
Thanks for
very
having me.
insightful. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, to be honest, Graham is always joining us, but he's just behind the scenes.
Thank you so much, Graham. It was a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. I love your show.
Thank you.
I'm a fan.